we all have a toolkit in terms of how you can handle life and handle problems and handle things that come your way. But the ability to choose the right tool for the situation that it's needed, you know, like for me, I've always been gas pedal and hammer. Like that's been my approach, you know, to a lot of things. And that's an extreme sort of approach, right? What I've tried to learn and tried to get better at, and I continue to try to do that, is be less gas pedal, less hammer, maybe more brake and just, you know, the opposite of hammer or what, you know.
The first thing that came to mind was like a polishing wheel or something.
Yes,
like that.
right. Ultimately, it's more of a just having the toolkit to have not only a, you know, hard and fast approach, but a more finessed and smoother approach, but also knowing when and where to use those tools. It's the ability to recognize situations and scenarios and then understand what tool is the most effective in those scenarios. And that can be a challenge. It can be a challenge.
That sounds like it's one of those maybe not so beginner skills.
No, and
that's something that comes with some time and experience.
Yes.
You know, in a position where you need to really do some self-reflection.
I think both of us can sit here and say that, and probably anyone listening to this podcast, that there's been a situation where you didn't need to use the hammer, and you did.
Yep.
And the results were exactly what happened, you know. The glass was broken, you know, whatever.
Oh, that's so
but
good.
Instead of using the hammer on the window, I should have used the microfiber towel and a little bit of Windex, you know. Again, I think that's like you were alluding to. That is a learned pattern of behavior from a pattern of behavior that led to bad results or consequences. All right, now we got to turn it around here, boys.
Yeah, we got back 9, starting off on 10 here.
What
got a little bit of a weak finish at the end of the front 9, but we come back strong. All right, 3, 4, 4.
I'll go here to start.
Okay, dope.
I think we're dogleg right, I think.
Yeah, this thing moves over to the right. Money.
Come back.
That was a beauty.
Come back, though.
Oh, wow. Ran out of room over there. I see. Good strike, though. Can't be too upset about that.
Contact is good. Accuracy is dog shit at best. Good. Great ball.
Wow.
You smushed that thing.
I really
Brother.
did that one well. That was a bomb.
That was a monster. Being your own boss, like I said, is just, it's a really empowering thing. And I think for us, you know, with the Boyle Company and the expansion that we're having and, you know, all these different things, when you empower other like-minded people around you, there's so much to that. And you help breed like other entrepreneurs.
So that's a big, that's a
really,
big reason.
Really,
for this
really
channel.
cool thing. Yeah.
That's a big reason for this channel. I want to connect with other entrepreneurs, and I want to also try to give people that are kind of in that entrepreneurial mindset something that they can use to learn from.
Oh my gosh,
try to get better at, you know.
Yep.
So that way they don't necessarily have to make the same mistakes. You know, they
Yes.
can go,
Yes.
that guy did this, okay, I'll just, you know, do something differently. And then they're one step ahead. You know, they have one less risk of maybe not getting, you know,
if you can help one person, right? Like, I mean, that goes such a long way, right? Because, you know, especially in entrepreneurship, it's the trail of entrepreneurs is littered with the, you know, the failures and the
Right.
folks that didn't make it. But
Absolutely.
the biggest thing in entrepreneurship is you got to take the fucking risk, you know.
You got to
take the first step, you know.
Yeah. Where we at, Jen? Oh, wow, that was
You smoked that ball, brother.
a great shot.
That was a great start here.
Yeah, the start we were looking for.
All right, what do we got left? Under 100, about right?
So part of the other thing was, like you said, like entrepreneurs are known for failing, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of people fail and don't ever succeed. So when you are talking to your friends and family, like, I want to start a business, and everybody's like, not so sure, you know, maybe just get a job doing this, whatever. A lot of people kind of are scared,
Yeah,
you know,
no doubt,
and
no doubt.
they let that fear leach out and maybe negatively influence somebody who is thinking about starting a business, and, you know, maybe they don't start that business. So I want to give something where people can watch it and be like, that guy did it. Right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
There's other people talking about doing it. So,
well, and that's the thing, right? Like, all those people that kind of tell you, no, I don't know if that's going to work. And I think, the first step is just making the decision. Hey, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to give this a shot.
exactly.
And that's huge. What I would say too to it though, and I think we both have similar sort of mindsets here. I mean, you have your normal job that helps pay the bills, and then you get to do this, and you get to put your energy and the passion into this while you're doing that. So you're almost insulated in a way. And that's how I started, right? I had full-time jobs before I started the boil company, but I was doing that on the side. So you kind of, we kind of touched on it, a little bit earlier, but I think the first step is just making the decision to go for it, right? Like, you can sit there and, Monday morning quarterback, quite a bit, but you have to make the decision that, hey, I'm going to commit to this, and what I would say is, like, you can't be, it's got to be full commitment, Right. I think the biggest thing is you got to commit.
Yeah, that's great. That's great advice.
It can't be half-ass. I think that's the biggest piece, man. If you don't put all the energy into it, you're not going to get all the rewards back, I'd say.
I guess you get in you get out what you put in.
There's a ball. It looks like that's a ball.
Oh, that's
there.
it. Yeah, we're looking at the wrong bunker.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's way better. I like it up
Yeah,
there.
that's much better. Absolutely.
You couldn't even see the green from over here.
I think, you really have to sharpen your craft too, right? Like, have a true plan in place in terms of what you want to execute on. Planning things ahead is a big deal. But having the idea is one thing. Executing on it is something else, and
totally.
Despite the failures and the things that do go sideways, it's like, okay, that's going to happen, right?
That's part of
that's part of it,
process,
you got to be able to live with those bumps and bruises and learn from them. And I think that's the biggest thing in entrepreneurship. You just got to learn how to deal with the shit that does go sideways. The failures that we have, I think, in life are far better educators than the successes are.
Oh, yeah.
And as cliche as it may seem, you have to fail sometimes and you have to lose sometimes to learn the most important and valuable lessons. Totally. And I think losing and failing gracefully comes with time.
I'll tell you.
But I think it's an experience and a maturation that happens throughout the course of our lives and throughout our business careers and throughout our golf games.
Absolutely.
But it's something that you kind of have to go through to figure out. So don't ever be discouraged necessarily by the failures or the losses you may have. Take those moments and use them, to your advantage. And I think that's the hope that I have for anyone that may be listening to this is, especially if you're a young entrepreneur that's just trying to start, their journey. Be comfortable failing. Be okay with your losses because they're going to happen. Not everything is going to be beautiful and pretty and fantastic. It's going to suck. Totally. But embrace the suck and learn from it.
That's a good one.
And
that's David Goggins, right?
That's right.
Embrace the suck.
David Goggins. There we go. Embrace the suck, man. But you have to learn that, and it's you can't wallow in it.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's something that flows back to the mental health side of things. Like depression and anxiety and all these things that we talk about, as a society that are affecting so many people. They're real, first of all. They can happen to anyone. You got to find ways and tools to get yourself out of those spots.
Absolutely.
The highs and lows, man. It's that's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the golf game. It's the nature of business. All these things kind of happen, and it's the ebbs and flows. The high tide will come, the low tide will come. But just kind of living with it and finding the balance, and again, choosing the right tools for the right the right task at hand.
I love that. Yeah.
Is good stuff. We can sit here and say, this is how you should do it, and maybe we need to be better in practice on our own ends, and
Absolutely.
I think that's obviously the case. But there's times where you need to kind of be the rock, right, and be forceful and kind of be hard about what you believe in. There's other times where you just need to be water, man, and you need to be fluid and let it exactly. Yeah, you need to let it wash over you. you can't be desperate, and I've been desperate at times in my personal life, in my professional life, and it doesn't get you anywhere.
No,
It actually pushes people and opportunities and things further away from you, and that's a really shitty feeling. It sucks.
It can kind of spiral.
And it does.
Too.
And it's funny you bring up like the spiral thing. It's like, because the moment you kind of have this thought of, or it's an assumption that, this is not, it becomes that really terrible downward spiral, and it can get really out of control really quick.
So I think self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yes.
Yep, 100%.
You have to kind of have those moments to stop yourself in that spiral.
That's mental strength.
It is.
That's just like, it's also like a confidence thing too.
Big time.
If you understand that it's not always going to work, but you believe in yourself, or you believe in the concept or the business that you're, promoting, you can overcome all kinds of setbacks and all kinds of, walls you get around them. But
and I think confidence is a big thing. You kind of have to be confident in your approach. That's a big part of sales, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Confidence is a big part of sales. And whether it's true confidence, or it's just maybe a fake confidence that you kind of lean on. But
I tend to believe that people can see through, and you know what?
The good ones can.
Yeah.
The good ones can. I would agree.
That's why it's easy to sell something you believe in.
Yeah.
It's hard to sell something that you have to convince yourself it's a good idea.
Right. No, I think that's a really great point too.